We gotta do intro. Hello, this is the LOCO Podcast on the Dripping Springs High School and Tiger Wave Network. That's it. What's up, Logan? That's all you gotta know.
Not a ton. I've been chilling. Been taking care of a lot of college stuff.
Same.
But been hunkering down, keeping to myself, making some good sounds on the stringed instrument.
Nice. Me
Yeah.
as well, kind of. Do you know Lounge Act by Nirvana?
I'm not familiar.
You're not familiar? It's from that
Is
one
that
with
a
the
song?
Naked Baby. Yeah.
Off of Nevermind?
Yeah.
Is that Nevermind?
Yeah, it's Nevermind. I just learned that recently. It's pretty fun to play on bass.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Maybe I'll do a little exclusive sneak peek at the end at something that I've been writing on the guitar.
Is that the one that you showed us in Mercer's class the other day?
Is it?
It might
Maybe.
be.
I don't know.
You were very proud of it, which is there's nothing wrong
Well,
with
I've
that.
still been working on it, so it's like a little bit more
Better.
cohesive.
So what's been up with you lately? Anything?
Well, I just went over that, Connor. What's been up with you?
What's been up with me? I got a job finally.
Nice. Where?
HEB. So
Oh, sick. Maybe I should come work
check
with
me
you.
out. Oh, that would be awesome. Do it. Oh wait, you kind of have a job though, but
I
whatever.
kind of have a job, but I could sure use an HEB job.
Dude,
So
I'm not gonna say how much they pay, but they pay well.
let's not ruffle any
Dilly-dally.
feathers here. Let's get on to the important stuff, and that's the fact that we haven't talked about Joe Rogan's studio in weeks.
Oh my God.
Which is a serious problem because it's changed. It's gotten better. Joe Rogan's
has?
studio has better lighting now, actually. Because, like I said before, if you all remember, I said the problem with Joe Rogan's new studio is that the red lights are too bright, which is a problem, and also there's not enough light on people's faces here. For anyone that is curious, I will go ahead and remind you all what the studio looked like. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So that is what it looked like. Now, he has clearly gotten the message that his fans did not like that. He has put a lot of work into making it a little bit more purple, even a little bit darker, and in fact, got a little bit more light on the faces of the guests. So let me show you what it looks like now. Here you go. So as you can see, there's more. The light in the background's purple. What do you think? Does that look better to you?
I didn't really have a problem with it in the first place. I mean, it's a podcast. I'm really just trying to listen to it. So,
right. But for the video viewers, I mean, you can see how this, comparatively to what we were looking at, is much crisper.
It is crisper. Yes.
It's easier on the eyes for someone who's going to have to watch a 3-hour video, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Is this in Austin?
Yeah.
He's getting people to come to Austin.
In fact, my detective sleuth skills tell me that I think that he's probably Bee Cave area, based on the stuff that he's been saying. Because he mentioned a Bee Cave barbecue place the other day. He mentioned his proximity to his daughter, who he said was in Lakeway. He's actually been surprisingly forthright about the areas that people are living in, which I'm surprised at because he's such a celebrity. You'd think that maybe he would probably want to maintain some level of secrecy, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, you never know.
We now welcome you to the state of the drip.
After that Joe Rogan news, our first story today in State of the Drip is that a high-speed chase in Hays County on Monday ended with a suspect being shot by deputies, according to the Hays County Sheriff's Office. It was around 5:15 p.m. on Monday when a deputy saw a vehicle traveling on a high speed, going north on I-35, weaving recklessly and in and out of traffic, is the quotation from the deputy. They attempted to pull the driver over, but the driver fled and the pursuit began. The Hays County and Buda, actually, police department officers were able to finally disable the vehicle on South Loop 4 near Interstate Drive, just south of Buda city limits. When the vehicle stopped, the driver reportedly showed a gun, and officers fired, hitting the man. He was taken to the hospital for treatment and is in stable condition. No officers were injured, and the investigation is ongoing. So, happy to hear nobody got hurt too badly or lost their life.
Yes, that is always good news. Is that it for that?
That's all that story has.
All right. News is slow, so we're gonna have another
Unless,
COVID.
do you want me to read the advertisement that says doctor tells man he's infertile, then he realizes why sons look so familiar. That is one of the
Go ahead.
ads that I get underneath the article, as well as classified photos the government was forced to reveal. Jackie Kennedy's granddaughter is a billionaire.
Well, this isn't Ashes of Alexandria, so you got to be careful with what you're saying.
You know, apparently only people with an IQ of 130 can name these items, is one of the ads. Go ahead.
I'm just
Continue with
ads.
your story. Story.
Okay, I'm just getting ads for Carrie Isaac. Don't vote for her. Anyways, let's see. We got it's sad news kind of because we don't have much news today. But it's your annual COVID check, not annual. It's your COVID check, boys and girls, and anybody else in between. So in Austin, we had, as of 10/16, 5 cases, as of 10/19, 6 cases, and as of 10/20, 5 cases. So that went down one more. Now, I'm just covering Austin, and I'm going to cover Dripping Springs. Dripping Springs, as of 10/16, had 43 cases. Then 10/19, they had 40. Then 10/20, they had 40, so nothing's going up. Although, have you heard the news, Logan, that there may be a second wave coming?
I've heard the speculation. I'm part of the speculation. I personally find that to be a belief of mine, but like I've said from the get-go, I think that this is probably definitely not the first time that I've said this on the show. Take my advice and anyone's advice with a grain of salt, because when you're dealing with a virus as new as this, no matter how hard you try to put scientific thought processes to the decision-making that you make, there's just not enough data to substantiate a reasonable response that you can guarantee will work. And that's really the problem, is the data set is too small. Hopefully this winter we'll be a little bit more prepared to deal with it due to the fact that we have more data to work with, to make our decisions with. But a year's worth of data is still not a lot when it comes to fighting a virus in the medical community. Usually you're working with years and years of data and reliably sourced data, which is something that we haven't had time to do. A lot of the data that we're getting is coming from places where it's hard to independently verify the numbers and what they mean and how they're being represented. Are certain deaths being called deaths that aren't deaths? Are there deaths that are happening that aren't being reported because nobody finds out about it? It's just a very complex topic. So I'm prepared to see a second wave, but certainly don't take my word for it.
Well, what do you think the holiday season's going to have? Like, what effect do you think that's going to have on this whole thing?
Great question. Are people going to be able to not go to a Christmas party? I don't know. It's been a thing for a long time. Most people don't even think about the fact that you get to go to holiday events and see, 30 family members at the same time. And that's like something commonplace. I have no clue if people are going to still want. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
I do. What I will say is I find it hard to believe that if people end up deciding to do some kind of get together, I find it hard to believe that they will have the discipline to maintain social distance and face masks during said get together. Mm-hmm. I can say from my perspective, I know people that I'm not going to name that take this virus seriously and still don't follow the guidelines. And it's so interesting to me that it's a laziness thing in America. I don't know how other countries deal with it if they have this problem, but there's people that just won't follow the guidelines because they can't take 2 seconds to do so.
That's true.
The longer that we do that, the longer it takes to get to a place where we can fight this virus effectively.
So true. So everybody just do your part.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
That's all we ask. Just stay at home. I mean, I love being at home.
Uh-huh.
It's chill.
Actually, Connor, I was going to say, I went and took the ACT yesterday at the high school.
Wow.
And I was impressed with the social distancing that was put in place during the test. I was impressed with everybody wearing masks, not ever having to be told, hey, put that mask back on. Nobody complained hey, I have to sit here for 6 hours. Can I take off my mask? I expected to hear at least one or two kids do that. You expect it in a room full of 60 kids. You'd imagine maybe one of them, but no. And I was just that made me feel good. I felt completely safe in the testing environment, and so I think the school's getting better at instituting this kind of stuff.
I don't know. I'm not calling anybody out, but I know some kids were calling out for to end the mask mandates. So if that is you, please just stop. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. But not calling anybody out.
I've always said Americans have never stood for discomfort before, and I think that the next billionaire is going to be the guy who figures out how to clean the air before it ever goes through a mask so that you don't need to wear masks, because ultimately, if we had a way to neutralize the virus in the air so that once it came out of your mouth, it couldn't live in the air that it was hanging in, you wouldn't need to wear masks anymore. And I think that most Americans, like I said, are motivated by comfort. So whoever figures out that technology is going to make a lot of money, I think.
Or just wear a fishbowl.
Or wear a fishbowl.
See people's mouths.
But you know what I'm saying? I agree. I don't want to wear a mask. In fact, I'm surprised that in today's world we don't have a more effective solution than wearing a mask. But that's not me saying we shouldn't wear a mask, because it's the best option we have right now. Yeah. I think we should find a better one, but it's very dumb to say, well, I don't like it, so I'm just not going to do it, because that's a worse option.
Yeah. Very well spoken.
Yeah. So, do you have the ACT or the SAT at any point soon?
I have never taken it, and I don't plan on it.
The SAT or the ACT?
Nope.
Are you going to college?
I am going to college.
You're really going to want to take one of those tests.
Why?
SATs are generally required to get into college.
Not anymore because of Corona. They're skipping.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like,
well, nice. I wouldn't write on that though. I mean,
I write a good essay.
You never know if they're gonna change up the rules on you.
Well, that would just not be fair. And my mom's a lawyer, so I'll sue. Not to be like.
Well, but you could say that it's not fair to me that I took the SAT and then the rules got changed on me to the point where they're not required anymore.
You think I care about you? You think I care?
Listen, Connor. I think it's time to get into Conspiracy Corner, because I'm really excited to hear what you have to tell me.
Oh, yeah. I got 2 words. Well, let me tell you a quick little story. I was walking yesterday. I was like, walking past the store. I was like, I heard about a conspiracy about this place. Do you know what conspiracy that is?
What store are you speaking of?
What store? Do you know what store I'm talking about? Give you a hint.
The mattress place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mattress firm.
I am so excited to speak about this.
You know about this a little bit?
Please, if you haven't, then we need to do some digging on this. We'll talk about it later, but if you only did research, we need to contact some people and do some deep digging, some hard-hitting investigative journalism.
I would love to, honestly. I would love to go to the mattress firm and go into the back and see what's going on.
Tell me what you know, Connor.
I have 3 okay, I know I was proud of this last Conspiracy Corner. I only had 2 pages on the Oklahoma Octopus. I have 3 pages on Mattress Firm, okay? 3 pages, dude.
I'm ready for it.
You ready? So, tell me what you've heard about this, because it seems like you're a bit familiar.
Well, it's not so much what I've heard as much as what I think.
Okay, well, what do you think? Just so we can get a little picture of what you think before we get into it.
So, I'm not making any hard accusations here at all, because I just don't know enough about it. What I do know enough about is the fact that never once have I required the need for a mattress store. Okay, now I'm 18, so I might not have needed to, because my parents often buy mattresses. But I asked my parents. My parents have rarely needed a mattress store. Just occasionally, on smallest off chance. So why are there mattress stores across from each other half the time? There's usually competing mattress stores in the same street block.
Or the same brand.
Which
that happens too.
Crazy to me. I just don't understand why people could need so many mattresses. I don't understand how they're making any money or keeping the business, because it costs money to operate a business. So I'm like, that means they have to be generating profit. It's just, I don't know. Tell me. That's as far as my thoughts go. Is just I'm like something's up there, but what?
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to cover. We're going to get to the more outlandish stuff. We're going to get to some logical stuff. And we're going to get to some nerdy stuff like business stuff. So,
Okay. I'm just, I might be muted and eating some beef jerky during some of it. So.
No, I like your talking, man.
Well, no, but I'll unmute to talk to you. I'm just saying, like, while I'm eating the beef jerky, I'm going to be muted.
I do like beef jerky. Okay. Excuse me. Anywho, so as Logan has put it before, why are there so many mattress firms if nobody ever goes into them? Or mattress stores in general. Specifically, we're doing mattress firm. What do you see when you pass a mattress firm, Logan?
Lots of signs and sales usually. I feel like there's always a mattress sale, now that I think about it.
And is there ever anybody inside?
No, not even the sales bring people in.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait, how are they always on sale too?
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't that mean that they should be making a ton of money if they feel like they can put stuff on sale?
I guess so. Or maybe they're going out of money. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Have you ever been to a mattress firm?
Never been inside of one. I've been very familiar with the outside.
Of course.
Well, but I think that maybe I've been in mattress stores. I just don't know if I've been... I don't know. It would have been a long time.
Well, you and I are both Breaking Bad fans, so I think you'll enjoy this. So, let's just get some numbers out of the way. First of all, there are 16,000 mattress firms in America. 16,000. Can you guess how many Walmarts there are?
9,000.
4,756.
No way. You're lying to me.
That's it. There are almost 4 times as many mattress firms. I'm not.
Wow.
Okay? It's like...
Really?
It's sus, man.
No.
It's sus.
You're not telling me the truth. There's not 4 times as many mattress firms as there... Why? Why?
I don't know. Well, that's why we're talking about it.
Okay.
The main theory is that mattress firm is just a money laundering scheme, which is what I was talking about with Breaking Bad. I'm not going to give any spoilers.
But wouldn't it be a really horribly done money laundering scheme because nobody actually goes... Like, it's really obvious, isn't it? If it's a money laundering scheme, it's done poorly because, like, that's the first thing I think of. It makes me think that there's an even further, more weird explanation that I'm not thinking of because it's so obviously money laundering that it can't be. I don't know.
Well, I think we should improv some theories towards the end of this, okay? If you're down for that.
Yeah, I'm down.
We'll just get a little suspicious together. And also there's a lot of them close together. Like, I saw one Reddit post where it was like there's like 4 on the like one block. It's like one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here at like a 4-way intersection.
Yeah, I've seen that. Could be a doctored photo, but I've seen this. I've seen it.
Yeah, that's just crazy. So, there are so many close together. Why? Well, let's get into the theories. Number 1, real estate scheme. If you fill vacant buildings, you fix the commercial rent prices in the area, and the rent can be used to offset the income. And then when you run out of other vacant buildings, you end the lease and find a better tenant. Now, it's just something simple. I'm in macroeconomics, so I kind of understand this stuff now. But,
you made me just think of something too. As a normal average guy, I don't need to buy mattresses often.
Yeah.
But what about companies like hotels, like apartment buildings? Well, I guess not apartment buildings because you usually have to move your own bed into an apartment building. But you know, places where it's expected that they provide a bed might be consuming more, but I still can't imagine that's enough to like warrant. And they're not going into a mattress store to get it, right?
Everything.
Wouldn't they have it shipped to them?
Yeah, they probably have like much bigger retailers for hotels or something like that.
See, that's where it trips me up because I'm like, I want to make it make sense in my head, but it makes no sense no matter what way you slice it. It's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I mean, number 2, there's a few manufacturers of mattresses worldwide. A common money laundering scheme would be that every 2,500 dollars in mattresses you sell is booked as multiple cheaper mattresses, and then loss/leaders, or vice versa. The depending on whether you want to understate or overstate income. The high margin, expensive mattresses are booked as multiple cheaper mattresses. You get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay. So there's that. Now, this is not really the interesting conspiracies. We'll get to that. This is just kind of more logical things, and then
How
we'll get into the
expensive?
weird
How
stuff.
expensive are your more expensive mattresses?
I think they're like they say they're on sale all the time, but they're like $1,000.
So you want to know what I think? And
Yeah,
this
I
is
do.
completely crackpot theory, but my thing is, you know what can go inside of a mattress?
That's exactly what I was gonna get
Almost
to, dude.
anything. Almost
Yeah.
anything can go inside of a mattress and can be sealed inside of a mattress for transport.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that there's illicit substances or people or money being transported in these mattresses, but I also am not saying that there isn't.
Not.
Go ahead, though.
Exactly. So here's the money laundering one. This is the third theory. Profits from other businesses are put there, whether that be payment from international deals that aren't so legit, domestic money, or too much profit at a high rate. This is your vice versa, where a $200 mattress sale is listed as a $2,500 mattress. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Can we reach out to ex-mattress firm employees or...
Well, there is a Reddit post about that where this ex-mattress firm employee was like, yo, they didn't treat me right. But that was about it. He was like, I don't believe in this mattress firm theory.
He was just
Based on
mad
what
because
I've seen.
they was just mad because they like didn't pay him right.
Yeah, they kind of
Wow.
they flushed him out, and he was a manager
But then
and
again,
worked there for years.
If this is a grand scheme, you wouldn't tell your $10 an hour guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you? 'Cause then he's gonna go on Reddit and tell everybody.
Yeah, so there was one dude on the internet I could find that was talking about it, but I think you and I should probably do some investigating later on. We can come back to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be very cool. A special episode, maybe. So yeah, there was that. You can make this is just a more of a in the books kind of thing. You can make certain years look really good on the books. All of a sudden, your profit margins skyrocket in certain areas. You funnel money in from, your other businesses. This drives up the stock price, and you get 40 LKs stuck in bad investments. And it slowly evens back out. If you have multiple fronts, they'll eventually stop holding the bag and make the scheme much more affordable again, or you can just declare Chapter 11 and have practically nothing except a bunch of cash registers.
Did you know that mattress firm's headquartered in Houston?
What?
Yeah.
You know what else is headquartered in Houston?
What?
The company from Breaking Bad that Lydia works for.
Oh, yeah. Wait, was it? No, that was a European company.
No,
Magical Electromotive.
But Lydia's headquarters was in Houston. Now, the other guy that killed himself was in Germany.
Yeah, but they were a subsidiary of the main headquarters, right?
Yeah, well, still, Magical was partially in Houston. So this is very Breaking Bad-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're going to get to the big corporation aspect of this in a minute.
Steinhoff?
Dude, stop.
Okay, I'll stop looking stuff up.
Stop. Okay. And then, okay, so then we have your theory that customs declarations can be screwed with, and a lot of shipping containers are filled with a lot of space inside the mattress/box springs. That's where you put your illicit substances or whatever you want to ship worldwide. Also, if they're in Houston is very close to the Gulf, so you can have some sus stuff going on there. Because I used to live in Houston, very cool place.
Yeah, but Austin. You get that port activity.
Yeah, you got that like classic noir movie port activity, or like Batman on the port.
Well, I think that I'm not making this up. That there was some report that like a really big percentage of the illicit substances in the world enter through like just a few ports.
Okay, well, could you find out which ports those may be, please? We got a thumbs up, everybody. So, I'm just going to wait for him to figure that out real quick. No? Well, we're on the subject. I don't want to change the subject, so we can just...
I just want you to be saying stuff so that it's not quiet while I'm looking.
Oh, okay. That works too. So I'll just talk a little more about the economic side of this. You buy one. There's another theory, which is that mattress firms just buying one piece of land, like more expensive, and then they sell that when the price goes up, and then they can buy 3 more mattress firms in a cheaper area, which is why you see so many together in one area, which is not as cool as money laundering or putting stuff in the mattresses. And then Logan was already talking about Steinhoff, which probably has to do with the ports.
Hey, I don't know anything about Steinhoff. I just looked up that they were the parent company.
Yeah, of course. Well, we can get to that. Did you find your info yet?
Well, I'm on a congressional report. I am trying to find the specific numbers because I want to go from the source,
Yeah, of course.
Border Patrol seizures between ports of entry. Here, let me share my screen.
Let's see it. I think we're getting to something.
So this is, let me move this so that I can see it better. There we go.
That's a lot of pounds of marijuana and methamphetamine, dude.
Are these the years?
F
2012, 2013, 2014? I think that's how I'm supposed to be reading this. Yes. Okay. So in 2019, there was actually, it looks like during the Trump administration, there's been a significant reduction in marijuana, but also that's during the period of legalization. So I guess I should give Trump the credit for all of that.
Yeah.
But it looks like maybe methamphetamine use has skyrocketed a little bit. Fentanyl use, of course, is very bad. Cocaine use. But yeah, I would say that, 2013, 2.3, or probably closer to really 2.5 million pounds of marijuana through ports of entry. And that's just the seizures. Keep in mind, that's only the stuff that gets caught. This doesn't even include the stuff that gets through without being noticed, which is probably most of it.
Yeah, that's a lot. Does it say which ports specifically they're coming through? Like in which cities or whatever?
Maybe.
Can we find that?
Yeah, I will find it.
Okay, I'll keep talking while you do that. So in 2017, on December 5th, CEO Marcus Joost of Steinhoff International, who Logan briefly mentioned before this, resigned after the company announced possible accounting irregularities. So this is for Steinhoff, based in South Africa. So the South African retailer Steinhoff bought Mattress Firm for $3.8 billion in 2016, and at the time, analysts were skeptical about why Steinhoff had forked over so much for a business increasingly threatened by new startups such as Casper mattresses. And then you have like Sleep Number, blah blah blah, all the fancy new stuff.
Hey, I have a little bit more.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, according to, oh, nice. Okay, I get an ad the minute that I start to read.
Classic.
Okay. According to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection statistics, 90% of heroin seized along the border. 90% of heroin is seized along. 90% of heroin seized along the border. 88% of cocaine. 87% of methamphetamine, and 80% of fentanyl in the first 11 months of the 2018 fiscal year was caught trying to be smuggled in an illegal crossing point or a port, basically. So apparently the San Ysidro port of entry in Southern California has about 100,000 people crossing every day, and they recently completed a multi-year $750 million upgrade to add more customs officers and inspection technology. But yeah, I am still looking for that list of.
Just find something about Houston, because I feel like we're really on to something, you know? You could find anything about Houston being a port of entry for a lot of this stuff. But that's okay. So as I was mentioning about Steinhoff, toward the end of last year, Steinhoff's stock price tanked as much as 62% in one day, wiping out $15 billion worth of its market value Reuters reported. The company postponed publishing its full-year accounts, citing accounting irregularities, and its top 2 executives and chairman have resigned. Now, this just leads on to the money laundering scheme that we believe could be going on at mattress firm. Especially when you have big CEOs retiring or resigning, then it's a little suspicious. I believe Logan would
That's
agree.
certainly suspicious.
What's
Down
the
the rabbit hole a little bit here with this.
Yeah, you keep doing that.
So, air and marine operations, nationwide drug seizures. Okay, these are interesting numbers. Again, it's not exactly what I was looking for, but I think that it's still of interest to us based on what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
I'm going to share it. So this is from the Border Patrol, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol website. This is the air and marine operations statistics. So these are ships at sea and planes in the air. These are the numbers for the fiscal years. Weights are in pounds, it says. So cocaine in 2020 was down, significantly down from the previous year. Same for heroin. Marijuana seems to actually be much higher in maritime and air trafficking. Methamphetamine much lower, and fentanyl just slightly higher. So, and again, these are the people that get caught. Whoa. They've got drones doing this stuff too.
Very cool.
Yeah. So there's your information.
Now, how many have been caught in mattresses?
Great
That's going to be hard to find. Well, that's probably going to be like almost impossible to find on the internet. So don't worry about it. But here's another thing. The more stores you have, the more places you have to shuffle money between them, and that's more sources for fake money to appear to come from. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's also some possible political aspects to this, which is land is cheap in certain areas, and so they only need to bribe like one council if they want to do anything dodgy, or they can share assets between sites, particularly if they don't do a lot of real business, which requires it to pay for the land, all that stuff. So you can do some dodgy stuff. Here's the logical aspect of this. Oh wait, hold on, one more thing. Or some of the sites are used for backroom business storage, and other sites backrooms are used for other things, which we've kind of already covered.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a logical aspect to this. Retailing is notorious for wafer-thin profit margins. This is not the case for mattresses. Compared to its listed price, it costs relatively little to make a mattress. Consumer Reports that markups in 30 to 50% range are standard in the industry, which answers to your previous question about how much they are. And once a mattress crosses the $1,000 threshold, markups are even higher. What's more, most mattresses stores carry very little inventory. They deliver directly from a central warehouse or from manufacturers, and pay salespeople mainly through commissions. So overhead costs are quite low by retail standards, as such chains expand throughout the country. They count on awareness and recognition generated by their store's signage and visibility to bring in customers. So what that's saying is like they don't really have advertisements. They just have a bunch of stores to advertise, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is smart, I guess.
So, hey, I get the Houston information.
Let's get it.
Sorry to cut you off.
No problem.
Knew you wanted to hear it. So
I do. I really
this
do.
is actually from Houston. And it says that Houston is a primary drug distribution center. I'm reading that here in the southwestern United States. And it really, I've read over this briefly, so we don't need to read the whole thing. But essentially, it just talks about how it's such a super highway because it has port access as well as super highways that lead to a lot of other places in the country. It has that combination of you can get out of the boat and out of the state really fast in a lot of ways, So it says more specifically that cocaine use, the price of cocaine remained fairly constant for much of 2007. Oh, are we talking about 2007 here? Because this is 2008. I can't use this as a source.
I mean, we still got the
Because
fact.
kind of can, but
Look,
the ports are used in
yeah.
Houston.
The ports of Houston are used for drug trafficking. That's what we need to know, and that's what's important. And I think we're onto something here. So, so where was I? The logical reasoning, which is that each store moonlights as a giant billboard lit for 24 hours a day. Even when some stores in a market remain unprofitable, the chain will keep them open for advertising power. Finally, stores of the major retailing chains tend to cluster together in prominent locations to feed off the increased customer traffic produced by such congregation. This approach is also used by other retailers. It's called agglomeration. This makes mattress stores appear even more numerous than they actually are, and that's basically your answer there. Now, I don't like that one. It's not as cool as money laundering and some big giant drug scheme going on. But then we haven't really talked about aliens, have we?
We haven't talked about aliens. Why are they in the mattresses?
Are we supposed to talk about aliens in the conspiracy corner?
We are. We usually do.
We usually do. So this is what I was talking about, spitballing, improv, kind of here. What do we think could be the connection to aliens or the government instead of just money laundering? You know, like U.S. government.
Actually, I would go as far as to say that, and I almost don't even know if I want to throw this out there because it's not. You know, you can joke about drug smuggling, although you probably shouldn't. But I was gonna say human trafficking, but I almost don't even want to give validity to that without more evidence because that's such a horrendous thing to accuse anybody of. But certainly I could see even just, you know, it doesn't necessarily even have to be drugs. You can get illicit computer parts, materials that you can sell that are like nobody would even notice are illicit. And it's just because they're illegal to get here, hard to get here. People will pay a lot for them. It really could be any number of things. It could just be that people buy mattresses that we're not familiar with, you know?
I mean, everybody's got to have one basically, so.
I do think about that. I guess there could be many uses to a mattress, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Really?
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not. What do you think this is plausible at all in any situation, any world?
Well, I think it's weird. I think I've said already. I think it's extremely weird. It's like, what are you doing? There's no way that many people use mattresses. But I'm not claiming it's nefarious. I'm just like, it's clearly not normal.
It is, and I think Logan and I may take a trip down to the local mattress firm and interview one of the workers there and see if we can find anything out. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I'd be very interested to know what their like specific. If we could find out how busy they are at their busiest hours, we could maybe, you know, ask what their hottest selling products are, try to get an idea for how much the store is making, you know. That'd probably be good.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dad knocked at my door.
Classic. Hello, Mr. Moore. He's cool. Yeah, that does it for Conspiracy Corner today.
All right, let's do music musings.
Music musings.
That was a really good one, though.
It was. Thank you.
Give me an album.
Give me an album. I am doing today one of the perfect pop punk albums, and that is going to be "Life's Not Out to Get You" by Neck Deep. You ever listened to it or heard of it?
Nope.
Nope. Not at all. Very good album all the way through. I would give you some highlights of it, but basically every song on here is a highlight of it, which says something about it. Although the one song that like really stands out on this album is "December" by. Hope you get your ballroom floor, your perfect house with rose red doors. Makes me cry every time. Very sad song. So, yeah, go listen to "Life's Not Out to Get You" by Neck Deep. Generic pop punk. That's about as good as it gets.
So, mine is "Revolver" by the Beatles, which is just like, you know, the Beatles often, definitely, I would say that because of their earlier stuff, they often get the representation of like the much more Beach Boys-esque, like the pretty boys who sang in harmony and strummed the guitar.
Like the 60s One Direction.
Yeah, and that's not an inaccurate representation of them. The thing that a lot of people forget is that they were a band for years. Like they played together for I don't know, 10, 15 years at least. So that's a lot of time to change and evolve as a person. And certainly when they first got famous, they were that was what was popular at the time, like there wasn't anything other than that. But Revolver, I would say the album before it, Rubber Soul, was their entry into like, we're famous now and we can do whatever we want, so we don't have to do what everybody wants us to do anymore. Because you got to remember, there was an expectation at the time that they would do that pretty boy thing. Like,
Yeah.
nobody wanted them to do anything other than that. And Rubber Soul brought around this change where it was like, okay, these guys are actually like, there's a song on there called Think for Yourself on Rubber Soul. And that was, the Beatles are really like, at this point, they're like, we're going to figure this out on our own. We don't need you to tell us what to do. The album after Rubber Soul, Revolver, which is the one that I'm suggesting today, is probably, in my opinion, the album that gave birth to what the later half of the Beatles would be. They really just like, if Rubber Soul was them honing in on songwriting, this is songwriting from them at its finest. In a lot of ways, there's some extremely experimental stuff on here. Eleanor Rigby is one that a lot of people are going to be familiar with already, probably one of the more famous ones on the album. But this was, they're getting into the growlier vocals and the grungier guitar, and like John Lennon's getting into his grunge thing, like
Yeah.
this, for them, this would have been Nirvana at the time.
Wow.
Like, this is the equivalent of Nirvana for them at the time, so it's just really transformative for them. So Revolver, Beatles, 1966.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That actually kind of sold me. I'm not a big Beatles guy myself. I think they're very overrated. I'm more of a Stones guy, but
I like the Stones too.
there doesn't have to be a competition, but I feel like they are overrated. But, I think I might just go listen to that. It's nice.
Well, like I said, a lot of people hold them to a standard that's unfair because, like, they were just musicians, they weren't gods. And they made some bad stuff. They made some good stuff. Like, there's an entire album of theirs that I don't even touch. Magical Mystery Tour. Some people will probably argue it's a great album. I hate it. I think that it's stupid, and there's a couple songs in there that I like, but most of it is pretty dumb. Because they were people like anybody else, and you write bad stuff, you write good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Beatles. Think deep.
We are, I'm putting out the landing gears. I'm looking around. I'm seeing what's going on. We're getting ready to touch down in whatever place you want to be. Imagine the destination that you wish to arrive at. That's where we're arriving right now. Okay. It's going to be a great day. We got a high of 87. It's going to be cloudy, but, you're going to make that sunshine yourself. Okay? Connor, what do you got for me?
What do you mean, what do I got for you?
Well, you're my co-pilot. You got to say something.
Oh.
You can't just let the people figure it out for themselves.
Oh, we got I'm landing in Paris. I'm landing in Paris today. That's where I want to be. You tell me where I want to be. I want to be in Paris. That sounds cool.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to go to Paris.
Well.
The romantic in me.
Oh. There we go.
Now try.
Wait, let me try. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh yeah, baby, that's what I like. Yeah. Ooh, baby, tell me what you want from me right now. Ooh, baby, come on now, girl. Tell me, what do you want from me right now? It's that Tiger Daily News. It's that Tiger Daily